Well, it's a very warm welcome back to second half independent off-tube studio commentary from the game at the Ballymena Showground, where Larne of Northern Ireland trails Portugal's Santa Clara by 3-0. And it looked all right for Larne to start with. They had a lot of energy holding onto the ball in the early stages, but within 10 minutes you just felt as though Santa Clara were growing into the game. Took the Portuguese side a little while, but then once they started, you couldn't really stop them, and they scored on 26, 33 and 36 minutes to pretty much put this two-legged tie completely in their favour. And you just feel it's going to take something quite miraculous really for this not to turn into a massive score over the two legs. But with Larne having this whole second half, they've got to try and manage the idea of reducing the arrears, but also not being too gung-ho about it, because then the scoreline really could run away from them completely. It's myself, Paul Szczerbakowicz, and James Smedley taking you through the action. James, how do we see the second half? Is it going to be a lot of possession for Santa Clara?
Well, I imagine so. They'll just want to control things, I think, especially in this opening 20 or so minutes. No big surprises like Larne grabbing a goal back. They'll want to just stay in cruise control and try and see out, what would be a really good away win.
Well, it would certainly put them in a very, very strong position for the home leg. We may see a raft of changes from Vasco Matos' side in the return leg, but as I say, we've got this second half to take care of first, and already, although it was Larne that kicked off, it's Santa Clara that are straight back into possession. It's a long ball over towards the left side, too long in fact. It goes out for a throw. So Larne made one change before the break. It's Rowan Ferguson in goal, then it's a back four over Thomas Cosgrove, Ryan Nolan, Aaron Donnelly and Sean Graham. The three in midfield are Dylan Sloan, Chris Gallagher and Mark Randall. The two wide men are Dan Bent and now Matt Ridley, who came on in the first half, towards the end of the first half, for Conor McKendry. And then it's Tiernan O'Connor as the front man for Larne. The Santa Clara team is Gabriel Batista in goal, then it's a back three of Sidney Lima, Lucas Roja and Federico Venancio. Then it's Brenner and Mateus Pereira as the two wide men, Serginho, Gabriel Silva and Adriano Firmino as the three in midfield, with Wendell and Vinicius Lopez as the two up front. The ball goes out. In fact, it was an offside against Larne as they were trying to get something started there on the right hand side. Free kick now to Santa Clara, and they'll look to just restart play, keeping the ball, which they've done very, very successfully and very efficiently in the first half, despite the pressing and the physicality from the Northern Irish outfit. Just I say that bit of a stumble there from, I think it was Serginho, just tripped on himself there really. Larne have the ball back, but their first thought is to go back into defence just to try and measure this possession here. Not too much pressing from Santa Clara as the ball is played back now by Gallagher. Then a long clearance from Ferguson up towards the halfway line. There's a clash of heads there. Referee says no, play on, and it is Larne in possession, although again Sloan's first thought is to go back towards Donnelly, big centre back. It's Nolan now. What about, say, a long ball? In fact, there may have been a substitution there for Larne. I just thought we saw number 3 there in defence, but we'll confirm that. I do think that, in fact, I'll take it back. What's happened is I think there's been a bit of a switch of position. So Ridley, in fact, has gone into the centre-back role, and potentially there's been another player added into midfield, which isn't actually a bad idea. It just gives Larne a bit more of a chance to try and hold on to the ball. There's a long ball played up towards Dan Bent at the edge of the area. That one is cleared back into midfield, but Larne are trying to send more players into the Santa Clara half, which is encouraging. Only though if they can hold on to the ball, because as soon as Santa Clara win it back, there's going to be big gaps in that Larne defence. Well,
it's almost deja vu, really, Paul, in the start of the second half. Larne are being brave, they're pushing players forward, but as soon as their visitors win the ball back, immediately they're just cutting through like a hot knife through. But seen it already in the opening 3 minutes of this second half. Dan Bent there with a pull back on the number 23 Lima for Santa Clara. How he hasn't been booked yet, Santa Clara forward, I'm not quite sure.
No, I mean, it's to say he's been asking for it really here, Dan Bent, but the referee for the time being has only shown the one yellow card, and that was actually to somebody on the Santa Clara bench, and I don't think it was the manager. Just waiting for confirmation. We never actually found out who the player booked, but the coach who was booked, but I don't think it was the manager. Free kick now to Santa Clara, deep inside their own half. Bent's getting a little bit frustrated here that it's taking Sidney Lima so long, and in fact the referee's going to show Sidney Lima a yellow card, which, considering you're 3-0 up away from home against a Northern Ireland side, it's a bit of a ridiculous yellow card to receive. And also, when you think of all the physicality, it's quite ironic that's the one that's led to the first yellow. But the free kick was successful. It's played long, and now Santa Clara have possession deep inside the line. That's a great through ball from Serginho. Plays it across towards the edge of the area. Strike coming in, save with the feet of Ferguson. It's good work from Brenner on the right-hand side, but the strike was charged down by the goalkeeper. Now there's a bit of a fight for it in midfield. There's a bit of a lunge there as well. The referee is going to stop play there. And it is going to be a free kick to, in fact, it's going to be a throw on to Santa Clara. I thought there might have been a free kick for that foul there from Mark Randall. But Ferguson called into action with his feet this time.
Absolutely, it's a fantastic move down that right-hand side and a decent effort from the falling over Wendell Silva, who does well to direct that on target. Fabulous one from Brenner, playing fullback, but mainly as a winger, really, throughout this game. He does really well to get on the end of that through ball there. Good cut back, and Wendell Silva just slipping over at the crucial moment. Good save from Ferguson with the feet, as you mentioned there, Paul, but worrying again from a line perspective, because it is really simple through balls going through that back line that are paying out dividends.
They are, absolutely. It's the time and again that Santa Clara are able to find those gaps. The throw-on goes back towards the halfway line. The visitors are just quite happy to hold on to possession at this stage. Ball now square towards Sidney Lima, the only man with a yellow card in this game. Serginho now, who's very much involved in that last move. It's a good run from him as well. Gets all the way to the edge of the area. Actually wastes the chance to pass to Brenner, who was by then in an offside position. Serginho held it that long. It's now on the right-hand side. Lima pushing forward. Just holds the ball up. Has a quick exchange with Adriano Firmino. Played back towards Lucas Roja. Now another chance here to go forward. It's pinged across here by Firmino over towards the left-hand side. Just a little bit too much height on that one. Not enough space really for Mateus Pereira to control that one.
Yeah, I think he almost anticipates the fact that Sloane's going to get there first. In the end, both players sort of leave the ball to go out of play for a throw. And that being said, Larne don't really do much with it. It bounces off of the feet of Pereira. There'll be another throw-in for Larne to have. Just frustrations again, really, for the home side. We've seen it really start to bubble over, and I think we're in for a much more physical second half, if that was even possible. Yeah,
well, as I say, if it's going to get any more physical, it's going to go from little shoulder barges and pushes to actually full-on battles at some stage. If that's where Larne want to take it. I don't think Santa Clara are looking to do that, but the home side may want to ramp it up if they get more frustrated. A long ball now down the left-hand side, and Sean Graham had pushed a long way forward. He's not going to get on the end of this, though. It's played back towards the goalkeeper, Batista. A nice bit of one-touch stuff here from Santa Clara to get the ball away from their own penalty area. Really is very, very quick play here, and also the midfield is completely exposed. It's a great run this from Adriano Firmino, but then his pass is picked off, and suddenly there's half a chance here for O'Connor, and he's charging forward. It's a great run from O'Connor. He's trying to beat three players. He gets tripped at the edge of the area. That's going to be a free kick, and that's going to be a yellow card as well for Lucas Roja, and a free kick for Larne just at the edge of the D.
Well, it's fantastic play initially from the visitors, playing out from the back. They do it so well, and it's just a little bit greedy from Firmino. His pass forward takes a little bit too long to come in the end. Picked up well by O'Connor, who carries that ball from the halfway line all the way to the edge of the box, beating 2, then 3, then 4 almost players in blue. Brought down at the end. I think that is deserving of a yellow card, I have to say.
I think so, yeah. He's saying he won the ball, but I don't think he has. I think it's just the standard defence that footballers use there when they say that they won the ball, and there's not much evidence to suggest that he did. And this is a golden opportunity for Larne now, depending on who they want to use. It's just slightly over on the right-hand side of the D, so it may favour the left footer if they want to go for the curling effort. We can see Sean Graham is there. I think that it's Mark Randall who's the other free kick taker. The referee's got some organising to do here, because it seems like Santa Clara want to have 3 different walls here, so the referee's just making sure he's checking with the players who are actually going to be in this wall to try and mark up where it needs to be. But it is a good opportunity this for Larne. Just have to wait and see how they're going to be able to take advantage. The referee still doing some housekeeping there inside the box. There are also 2 Larne players just at the edge of that wall, just to try and make a nuisance of themselves. Let's have a look to see. It looks like Randall's the one sort of positioning the ball and really trying to work out his angles. The goalkeeper Batista still trying to find his best position as well. The referee now happy. Well, he seems to be happy. I don't think has he used the magic spray? I don't think he has. Whether or not they don't bother with it at this level. We've seen it though at other games, so maybe the referee just felt he didn't need it. He's going to keep an eye on that wall. But Randall, he's ready to take the free kick. Is it going to be a short setup? No, Randall goes for goal. He drills it straight into the wall. Second ball deflects over towards O'Connor on the right hand side. He turns and then goes for it with the left foot. Easily charged down first of all by Adriano Firmino. Then Mateus Pereira clears it out for a throw. Free kick was too low in the end.
Yeah, it was, and a poor delivery in the end from Randall. It's been so hyped up, really. The suspense building with the referee having to stop the taking of it a couple of times, but it looks like it's going to be a double change for the visitors. Yeah,
and if I saw the number 6 there, Adriano Firmino, he's had a decent game, and Wendell Silva has had a decent game as well. But I suppose with the scoreline being what it is, in fact, it looks like is that triple change being prepared. But anyway, we're going to see Sidney Lima on a yellow card. He's going to go off, and he's going to be replaced here by the number 32. He's got to keep an eye when you're doing these qualifiers for players that you don't see every week, but it's going to be 32 to come on here. Just the initials MT, that's all we have for this player, so quite an unusual player here for Mateus Arroyo is his full name, but it's quite unusual really that they've named him just with his initials there. That's the way he prefers it. So Mateus Arroyo on here for Sydney Lima, and I'll confirm the other two substitutes. Was that taken in by the initials that I'm trying to work out who else, but we can see that looks like Pereira has come on as well. So we've got Pedro Ferreira, I should say. Pedro Ferreira has come on here to replace Adriano Firmino. And whilst I've been messing about with substitutions, Larne have won themselves a corner here, so this is a good chance for the home side. I'll confirm that third change for Santa Clara in just a moment, but let's focus on this Larne corner kick. It's going to be an in-swinger off the left foot of Sean Graham, and there's plenty to aim for inside that box. He whips it towards the edge of the 6-yard box. That's a good header though. Venancio gets on the end of it. It's a bit of a tumble there inside the box, but it is eventually cleared, and now a chance here for a counter-attack for Santa Clara. Just to say that the third player to come on just in the last few minutes was João Costa. So João Costa coming on to replace Wendell. That's striker for striker there. And it's a good time, I think, as well, with the scoreline being what it is, over half an hour to play. Why not give some of your subs a decent run out in a game where you know you're already very comfortable? Absolutely.
You know, it's a good platform now for these substitutes to try and come on and impress their manager. Make a case for them to be starting in the second leg, which I'm sure will be a little bit more of a comfortable ordeal for the visitors' side. They'll be at home, of course, back in Portugal with what stands currently to be a 3-goal advantage. So you'd expect them to comfortably go through, but it could all change. We've seen twists in the tails in European games, European qualifiers in the last couple of years, but this would be somewhat of a miracle really if Larne come back from here.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be a very long way back here for the side from Northern Ireland, but as it stands now, they're having to chase the ball again here. Substitute Pedro Ferreira over towards Mateus Pereira here on the left-hand side. Just held up here in midfield with Arroyo. Seems to have gone over towards the left-hand side of that back three. Even though we did see Lima playing more on the right-hand side, but here is Arroyo now. Looks like Venancio has now moved to that right of the three on the right-hand side here. We have got a chance to get that ball into the box. That's a quick strike coming in as well, but it's going to be straight into the arms of the goalkeeper Ferguson.
I think it came off his the defender there.
He might have actually got a slight deflection off Ridley as well, just to make it a little bit easier for the keeper to make the save. A long ball up towards the halfway line, but Larne just can't hold on to it. Looks like it's going to be a long half an hour plus. 57 minutes gone here, unofficial independent off-tube studio commentary from this Europa Conference League qualifier here at the Ballymena Showground. It's Larne 0, Santa Clara of Portugal 3. And here is Brennett, the Brazilian, I should say, playing on the right-hand side. Gets dispossessed, but there's still a chance here to move that ball forward. Vinny Lopez had just moved over onto that right-hand side. Eventually playing it back towards Roja. Here is Arroyo now. Back towards Venancio. What about a long ball, but just decides to play it square. And the visitors here are in no rush to go forward, but they don't need to be. They've done all the hard work in that 10-12 minute burst in the first half, getting those 3 goals, and since then just making the poor home side chase after it.
Yeah, they're absolutely, and they're quite within their rights to do so. Just try and tire the Larne legs out. There's a chance here.
Yeah, great turn there from Brenner to get away from his man. The ball played into the box. It's deflected away after it was left by the man at the near post. It's the second chance here at the edge of the area. Venancio just plays it square. It's Ferreira now going back towards Arroyo. Arroyo holding it up and finding Mateus Pereira here on the left-hand side. Back to Ferreira. Squaring out to Venancio. Here's Brenner on the right-hand side, just under a bit of pressure. Back towards Venancio again as the visitors just moving that ball from left to right. And here comes Arroyo again now. They've got the confidence to send their defenders forward here for this bit of attacking possession. Quick exchange of passes there at the edge, and then there's a ball looped up in the air, and it was actually a defender that got the last touch on that. It was Thomas Koskra, but because he looped it up like that, there's not a referee in the world that would assume that he was attempting to pass to his keeper like that, so the goalkeeper can actually catch it.
Absolutely, gets away with one again. Does that Larne back line and really hanging on at the moment. It seems as though the next goal, if there is to be one, will certainly be coming the way of the visitors' side.
Well, you would think so. I mean, they're not sort of. It's not sort of hanging in the air, but it's just the ease with which Santa Clara are able to move the ball around, and also the difficulty that Larne are having in actually trying to get the ball back off them. And when Larne do get the ball back off them, there really isn't too many options for them to try and get forward. But Luis Rocha now with a long ball towards the edge of the area. Brenner was trying to win that header from an offside position, so it will be a free kick to Larne just at the edge of their own box. It's going to be he's going to try and take this Donnelly and send it as far up the field as he can. And so Santa Clara will certainly have as high an offside line as they can, just to try and make it that a little bit more difficult. Referee just asking for this free kick to be taken. We've still got half an hour to go in this game, and in fact we're going to see yet another change here for Santa Clara. It looks like it's going to be the left winger, left back, Mateus Pereira. He's going to go off. And he's going to be replaced here. I think that was that number 77 there? We'll have to wait and see. I just wanted to say, unfortunately, we're not getting the substitution display. We're just getting a slightly wide angle and just see that there was a player who came on, but we'll confirm that in just a moment. And say it looks like it could be Pereira replacing Pereira there on the left-hand side. But in the meantime, here is Vinny Lopez being really bundled off the ball there by Bent. Referee says no foul, and then Lopez still has enough time and space there to get that ball out over towards the left-hand side. It's with Arroyo now. Options here, just plays a short ball in towards Serginho. His ball into the penalty area is charged down. There's a bit of there's a strong challenge there from Cosgrove, but it's not even a foul, says the referee. It's actually a throw to Larne, which certainly frustrated a couple of the Santa Clara players. It's now played back towards Donnelly. It's the left-hand side now for Graham. The Santa Clara players closing him down, goes across to Mark Randall, and Randall spots a good ball here down the right-hand side. It's a really good ball as well, nicely taken down here by the captain Cosgrove. He needs an overlap, and he gets the overlap. There's a chance to get the ball into the box. It's a good ball into the box, but there's nobody there. The frustration there, both of the forward players there for Larne all went out for the sort of near post, and they both missed the ball going right across the 6-yard box.
They did. It's just poor movement up front there, especially from Dan Bent. You've got to be throwing yourself at that ball as it comes in from the right hand side, and it's a good opportunity wasted there for Larne. That's probably their first chance of this second half, and probably for the last 50 or so minutes of football. They've had a couple of set pieces, but no real opportunities on goal.
Just confirmation that it's Paulo Victor, the number 64, who's come on for Mateus Pereira. That was a couple of minutes ago, so he is now playing on that left hand side. Paulo Victor, it's another Brazilian in this Santa. Of course, they can have a number of Brazilians, of course, with their Portugal and Brazilian political and diplomatic ties over there, and family ties as well, of course. So it does mean that those players can play in Portugal and be counted as European players rather than having players from further afield. So certainly see what Paulo Victor can do on this left-hand side. But another Brazilian who came on, Mateus Arroyo. Oh, there's going to be a booking there, surely. That's a pointless lunge there from Randall. And as I say, the referee well within his rights to show the yellow card, and it's that poor man Serginho. He's been in the walls a little bit this evening, hasn't he?
He certainly has, and I think O'Connor just gives him a little bit of a kick there as he walks past as well. He's not a popular figure in the Larne ranks, is Serginho, Santa Clara midfielder, but he won't mind that one bit. I mean, it's a good sign that he's doing his job.
It is, absolutely, yeah. If players are having to kick that many lumps out, if you just ask Lionel Messi or Ronaldo, who've been fouled tens of thousands of times over their careers, it's because nobody can get anywhere near them. But free kick taken short here by Santa Clara. It's back with Arroyo. Tries to play along. He does play a long ball, a diagonal ball over towards the right-hand side. Brenner, he was already heading out of play anyway, and his header doesn't stay in play. It's out for a throw. Brenner then just accidentally on purpose bumping into Sean Graham, just to stop him from taking that throw a little bit quicker. Santa Clara, they can try the dark arts as well if that's what Larne have been doing all evening. Aaron Donnelly now with the throw from the left-hand side. Tries to get a bit more distance on it. It's headed on by Bent, and as he tries to turn there, O'Connor, he was being held by Luis Rocha, who is on a yellow card, so he certainly can't give too much back to the referee. Interesting that Santa Clara have made 4 changes now. Just the one change from Larne, and that was a sort of almost like a knee-jerk reaction to some mistakes from McKendry in the first half, but since then we've not seen too much movement from Nathan Rooney's bench, really.
No, we haven't. It might be one of those cases where you think, well, what can you really do? He's got his strongest 11 on the field already. Any changes might well just weaken the side. You can go tactical all you want, but the fact of the matter is they need 3 goals, and players that aren't making the starting 11 aren't going to get you those 3 goals against this kind of opposition.
No, I think, as you say, it may just be a case of damage limitation if he feels it's going to change the team that's going to start to upset the sort of the unit he's got on the field now, and that might lead to a loss of more goals. You have to say that we've had nearly 20 minutes in this second half, and there haven't been that many clear-cut chances for Santa Clara. A couple, of course, and there's been a couple of shots charged down, a couple of half chances dealt with, but by and large, Larne are able to deal with it. There is a free kick, though, for the foul there on the right-hand side. Taken quickly. It was Sloan who was brought down on that right-hand side. It's back on the left here now with Donnelly into Graham. Plenty of Santa Clara players pressing, though. Randall now clips it forward, and here is Graham again, back to Ben. Switch play over now towards the centre circle, and here is Sloan. This is much better from Larne now, over towards the right-hand side. Cosgrove's ball into the box. Oh, it goes through Arroyo, but it doesn't quite get through the next defender. Cleared out through a throw, but that's better from Larne.
It is indeed. It's almost as if both sides have switched jerseys there, as it's a really liquid football move from the home side. Larne doing really, really well to just pick out some passes, move the ball really quickly as well on the transition. It almost pays out well for them, but again, they just seem to be lacking that, really prominent number 9 figure.
They are, and there's going to be a yellow card here, I think. Well, what's the problem here? The referee, I think there was an issue about, was the player too close? I don't think there's any rules about standing too close to the throw and takeoff. So, was it Alexis Sanchez who did that against, I can't remember who it was against, but he stood far too close and eventually just got the ball straight in his face, which, as I say, was absolutely the right thing to do there. But play on here now, and that's a lovely bit of skill there on the right-hand side from Cosgrove, and he gets the ball. Oh, we could have got the ball back, but the pass on the overlap was way overhit, and it's an easy save in the end for Gabriel Batista.
Indeed it is. Good goalkeeping from Batista. He's had to be alert this game, not really had to make a save thus far, apart from the one where he tipped wide in the first half that I believe wasn't on target anyway, but he's still, I think he's commanded his area very, very well, and I said it in the first half, but he seems to emanate a real sense of calm to his back line, allowing him to play the liquid football through the back line, which has been so crucial into how Santa Clara have attacked. No,
absolutely. We're going to see a free kick here now, though, to Santa Clara. There was a trip, Jerris, just as that ball was being played out. Then there's the ball kicked deliberately into one of the Santa Clara players. Just asking the referee if he saw that, but I don't think the referee was too bothered. Rio now with a short ball back towards the edge of his own penalty area. Here is Roja. Back to Mateus Arroyo. Got too many options here for a long ball, just exchanging passes with Serginho. And Santa Clara, as we've seen for most of this game, very comfortable on the ball, and say they'll be looking forward to that game next week, although it's going to be a procession. You'd imagine it might be a completely different 11 from Santa Clara.
Yeah, absolutely, because especially if they get another goal in this second half period now, it really is them in the driving seat for this tie. They already are now. Larne having to really work hard even to get the foot on the ball at the moment, never mind create chances, of which there've not been many for the home side. If it was a mountain to climb beforehand, it's Everest now for the home side, especially going away from home to Portugal, to Santa Clara's home ground. They fared better in the second legs, but I think this may be one step too far for them.
Yeah, as I say, they fared better because they drew their home legs 0-0, so they knew they had to get the job done away from home, and they were against sides who they felt they could match in terms of skill, in terms of possession, whereas there is a bit of a gulf here, there really is, and Santa Clara on the charge here again now. Nice little one touch there to find it into Brenner, but Brenner, in fairness to Graham, he was coming back trying to just get in Brenner's way, and it pays off because Brenner just rushes his cross. I think he toe ends it slightly, and he just sails out for a goal kick.
He does, but I think Brenner has probably been the liveliest player for Santa Clara. The number 11 has been really, really good down that right hand side, because he's done both his jobs, defensively and offensively. He's been a real handful. Larne have not dealt with him at all. There's a chance here again.
Yeah, well, Santa Clara win the ball back after Larne gave it away deep inside their own half, but the home side just about recover. And then a combination of Ben, Graham and Donnelly managed to lose the ball again, and here comes Santa Clara again. Just a short ball in there from the substitute João Costa. Then it's one back here for Larne by Gallagher before a really strong challenge there from Captain Cosgrove, and that's surely got to be a yellow card. It's certainly a very strong fall there from Paulo Victor. Let's just see from this replay. Yeah, that's a kick out, and the referee's 3 yards away. He's not even showing him a yellow card. I mean, we're not trying to say we want the Northern Irish side to do well, but that's ridiculous. He should have got booked for that, the captain. But anyway, we are over the halfway mark in the second half. 69 minutes gone here at the Ballymena Showground. It is Larne 0, Santa Clara 3. It will be James to take us through to full time.
Cheers, Paul. And I mean, that challenge there from Cosgrove is one of those, but I think they looked at that for a red card, maybe, because the studs are showing. It's into the shin pads. There's no harm done.
Lewis Rocca will be wondering, what the hell did I get booked for? I mean, when you think
yeah.
that. But we're going to have another Pereira on the field now. It's going to be the number 77 here, Henrique Pereira, to come on. Just waiting for confirmation as to who he will be replacing here for the last 20 minutes or so. It looks like it's going to be Gabriel Silva, who was double goal scorer in this game.
Absolutely, my man of the match for this game. Now he's gone off, I can comfortably say so. You know, scoring 2 and assisting 1 in 35 minutes in that first half. He was absolutely unplayable, and Larne just really were not able to manage him at all whatsoever. So Henrique Pereira taking his place, as mentioned. It'll be a free kick for Santa Clara. Right foot delivery, it's very direct. The flick on went up in the air for Araujo, but he doesn't get a head on it. In the end, it picked up by Brenner. And all the way back once more to Paulo Victor. And all the way back to the goalkeeper. So Santa Clara really taking their time. I mean, Batista there is about 20 or so yards from his own goal on the right hand side. He's just taking all the time in the world as the visitors play it across that back line. It's with Rocco now into the feet of Araujo. Now once more to Venancio. Infield that ball goes, and I mean, Larne just seems to have died a bit of a death here. There's no press. The most forward player is the number 10 O'Connor. Everyone else is almost 2/3 of the way inside their own half in red shirts. Long ball forward played by Rocca, and in the end it's claimed well by goalkeeper Ferguson, who rolls that ball out to his centre half. Ball fed forward to O'Connor, now back to Cosgrove. The 1-2 comes in, and then eventually it's spilled out of play. It's just poor really from Larne again, not to jump on the bandwagon, because it is just simply a different quality of opposition they're up against, but it's just the little things they're not getting right, and it's quite symptomatic as to how poorly their evening has gone. You expect them to lose this game. I think we both did, me and Paul, but you look at the way and the manner of which they've lost. I mean, they've looked kind of thuggish at times in the way they've played. I mean, you want to be aggressive, but it's teetered more into frustration and just seemed angry.
Yeah,
with little quality.
The aggression in the first half was all planned and measured. Now it's starting to get just a little bit, as you say, just frustration, just anger that they can't get on the end of the ball. And here come Santa Clara again, Serginho.
Indeed they do. On the ball now, it's number 35, looking to put a ball in, and indeed he does. It looks a little bit overcooked, and it is, but it's still brought down by a Santa Clara man. Again, it's just symptomatic of the reason Larne are 3-0 down. That's a ball that should never be won by an attacker. At the back post, I think it's Cosgrove who should be winning that all ends up. Paulo Victor able to stroll onto the end of it and chest it down. In the end, though, Cosgrove does clear, but Santa Clara now piling the pressure back on. In the feet of Randall, his ball backwards is loose, but will work out all the way back to goalkeeper Ferguson, who launches that ball long downfield. O'Connell won't win it. It'll be won in the end by Rocca.
Double change been prepared here by Nathan Rooney, so he is getting ready to make a couple of changes. I did see that one of the players being readied was number 14. Looks like we're going to see Benji McGee coming on here, and he is a forward, so it may well be here for O'Connor. But here comes Santa Clara at the other end.
Indeed they do. Chance to score for the visiting side. Strike comes in, it's well blocked in the end, and it was the number 70 Vinicius Lopez with a right-footed effort, and then in fact the offside flag has come up after that initial cross came in for the right hand side.
Yeah, well, whether he's frustrated at the yellow card, whether he's frustrated at the offside or the fact that he missed a good chance, only he will know, but the flag had gone up. So as we say, Benji McGee, he'll be coming on here for Mark Randall. And it looks like Tiernan O'Connor is going to be going off as well. And Tiernan O'Connor is going to be replaced here by Kobe Moore.
Indeed, he is. So a double change there made. O'Connor's not really been too impressive. He's shown glimmers when he's got on the ball at times, but he's not really had too much service as well, so can't criticise too much. But, the double change being made, perhaps a little bit too little too late, but they were never going to get back into this one really, from even 2-0 down. Larne, so it's just about resource management as much as anything as we get into the final 15 minutes of this Conference League qualification game. First leg between Larne and Santa Clara, and Santa Clara's 3 first half an hour goals that came in the first half put them 3 goals to the good. Larne have not offered much of a resistance since going 1 behind, and it does look as though they've got a bit of a mountain to climb, to put it lightly, for the rest of this game and in the second leg as well. There's real frustration, in the body language and I imagine the words being spoken by all Larne players as a wayward ball from Goldberg Ferguson evades the head of Sloan. That goes out of play for Santa Clara throw-in, which is moved well by Paulo Victor. He thinks he's been fouled. I think the referee may have agreed with that sentiment. Randall, who's gone off moments earlier, just getting a kind pat for his manager, Nathan Rooney there, of Larne. And you see the background there, the Santa Clara bench, the players are all in stitches, in hysterics, laughing. I hope that's not at the game going on at the moment.
No, there'll be something that they're it'll be a joke off the bench. I mean, as I say, this for teams that play in European qualifying games at this level, they'll know that you're going to have golf in class. But I think considering how angry that bench was in the first half with all the physicality, they'll be very pleased to still be have no serious injuries, no red cards. But I think from the manager's point of view, Vasco Matos would say that for the amount of possession his side have had in the second half, with only 15 minutes to go, they probably should have scored again.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 3 is probably enough, more than enough, for them to go through, even in the second leg. But you'd have liked to add a fourth just because of how dominant they have been in the second half. More so, I'd argue, than the first, despite having scored 3 less goals. They have had all the ball, all the chances. Larne have not a shot on target, or even, I think they've had 1 shot in this second half of football. Santa Clara have been all over them, especially Brenner down that right hand side. He's created 2 or 3 chances himself with his running in behind. I think Vinny Lopez has had a shot saved or blocked behind for a corner, a couple of other chances for a number of players. So to only be 3 up, I mean, even just saying that is pretty ridiculous. But to only be 3 up, you think it's a little bit disappointing, really, from their point of view.
It is, yeah. I think, as I say, from the managers, if he's a perfectionist, if he wants his side to always put in 100%, he would say that his side have been excellent in possession, but probably just lacking that little bit of finesse in the final third, certainly in the second half. But here they have no chance now with Brenner.
Indeed, Brenner, great footwork, skins his man and leaves him for dead on the near side touchline, feeds it in. He's going to get the ball back if he can get there. He can't. It's good shielding in the end. It's the number 11 who's gone down there for Larne, and he's been
Graham, isn't it? Yeah.
He is. He's been absolutely taken out of the equation there by I think it's called a Ronaldo shot there from Brenner.
Yeah, but credit to Dan Bender, because he was the one that closed Brenner down on the at the edge on the goal line. So considering that Ben's supposed to be one of the forward players, that's a great effort from him to get all the way back and help out in defence in the way that he did. But it is going to be a corner kick to. It is going to be a corner kick to Santa Clara, so once Graham picks himself up, may have to go off briefly, but it's the visitors have a corner.
He does seem to have picked up a little bit of an injury there. I mean, it's not a surprise. He was turned inside out by Brenner, who really did take no prisoners on that right-hand side and hasn't done all game. I think he's been, aside from Gabriel Silva, the scorer of 2 of the goals and assisting the other, he's certainly been the second best player, I think, for Santa Clara. It'll be a corner kick for the visitors. Jorginho taking right-footed, out-swinging ball. It's high and it's again over hip, and again will be easily dealt with. I mean, the set pieces from both sides haven't been great.
No, they haven't. I don't know whether it's is the ball moving so much in the air, is the pitch slightly narrower than what the Santa Clara players are used to. I mean, as I say, this isn't Larne's home ground either, week to week, so it may well be that something about the pitch. But I don't want to give too many excuses to the players. The bottom line is that Larne should that corner kick should have been a little bit better, should have been more measured, but Santa Clara have the ball back.
Dink ball over the top is not a bad one. It'll feed in to the feet, cut back, and it's a chance. Should be a goal, but somehow it's been blocked on the line by a Larne substitute, and they've got away with one. There have the home side. It's fantastic play to the left hand side. Paulo Victor getting on the end of it, cuts the ball back well, and I believe it's Henrik Pereira who gets on the end of the cut back. His strike on goal though blocked really well behind.
It was blocked behind by a player who we weren't even aware was on the pitch. I didn't think it looked like it was James Simpson that got the block in there. But when he actually came on the field, as I say, even the updates pages that we're using are struggling to keep up with some of these Larne changes. But yeah, it was Simpson that made the block.
I think it was when Graham went down. He's now been taken off.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. He's now gone off to the touchline. So we weren't actually confirmed. We weren't actually told about that. But confirmation now that Sean Graham has gone off. And it is James Simpson that's come on, the 18-year-old. Fantastic work from him there to stop what looked like a nailed-on goal.
Indeed, really, really good block and promising, at least individually, for the young man. Does well to get on the end of that one, because that was a certain fourth goal for the visiting side. As I say, they would have been even well worth that. On the ball now is Roca around the back, number 13, centre half, who's been the centre half in that back 3. That was a back five on paper, but it's certainly not been that with the little amount of pressure the visitors' defence has been under. That'll be a free kick given away of Dan Bent for once he's winning a foul instead of giving one away after Vinicius Lopez just overcommits himself a little bit in that challenge. Just see a replay of that earlier chance, and it is a fantastic cutback from the number 64, Paulo Victor, to just have all the composure in the world to bring that ball down and then cut it back, puts it on an absolute plate. It's actually the number 35, Serginho, to get on the end of that one. He does nothing wrong, but as we said, fantastic block coming in from James Simpson, the 18-year-old. He's on the ball now, 47. His ball across field is blocked, but will go all the way back to the goalkeeper, Batista. Santa Clara's number one. It's had a fairly quiet evening at the office. Really, to me, I think he's made one save during the first half. As I mentioned, the shot was going wide anyhow, so it's not really been too much of a taxing evening for Santa Clara's goalkeeper. Playing a couple of high balls in the air, but nothing to write home about, you have to say. Santa Clara now recycling the ball from right to left. It's Araujo now on the ball. One of the many substitutes we've seen introduced in this Conference League qualifier. 80 minutes on the clock, and it's Larne 0, Santa Clara at 3 in this independent off-tube studio commentary. At the moment, it's Rocker on the ball. Goes back to his goalkeeper, Batista, who probably just wants a bit of a run around at this point.
Yeah, he's had a very quiet second half. I mean, he's had to do it, been called into action a couple of times, but generally speaking, the captain has had more of a sort of player-manager's role, really just sort of at the back, barking out instructions to his players who are generally speaking are getting the job done. And so, yeah, it's been a long night for Larne. Started off positively enough, but I think Santa Clara always knew they had it in them just to ease themselves into the game, let the sort of home side sort of get an early bit of run. But here come the visitors again. It's a great run. That's a foul from Bent, and my goodness me, he has to get booked now.
I mean, surely, I think he's had enough fouls to be worthy of 3 yellow cards in this one. And now 80 minutes on the clock. He finally does get his just desserts, really. It's a scything challenge coming in on the onrushing Santa Clara player. I believe it was Pedro Pereira. He's taking him out, and he's not going for the ball at all there, really.
Well,
he gets near it.
To be fair, I think he does actually nudge the ball, but these days that isn't enough. There was a time where if you touch the ball, even if you went through the man, you could say, oh, well, it's a clean challenge. Nowadays, it's not that straightforward, and although he does get a toe end to the ball, he's had to take so much of the man out as well that's always going to be a free kick, and he can be frustrated all he likes, but the referee knew what he was doing there.
Absolutely. So a free kick to come for Santa Clara. 8 minutes to go in this one. It's Santa Clara centre half. He does have MT on his back, so perhaps he does prefer that.
That may well be, as I say, that's how he's noted on a couple of the scoring pages that we have. But goodness me, I mean, I don't know if they play rugby at this stadium, but if they do, that was a perfect conversion there from MT, because he's taken a free kick, left-footed from the left-hand side, and it's almost just like he's dug underneath it. And I mean, I'm not exaggerating, he's hit that about 12, if not 15 yards over the bar. He's only about 28 yards out when he started.
I'll tell you what, the team bus is in danger there for the visitors. I hope it wasn't hard.
There's an A-road behind the stadium as well.
I mean, that'll stop traffic, that free kick. I do actually think he's going for goal there, but perhaps just thinks he's about 50 or so yards further back than indeed he was. And that one, not really going to trouble Ferguson. He's had a busy evening. I'll be quite relieved to see that one sail well over his head.
Whether it's Mateus Rio or just MT, which obviously they aren't even his initials, are they? MT is just a shortening of his first name, really, isn't it? But whatever he wants to call himself, that wasn't an impressive free kick, and that's not an impressive pass out from either. Although, in fairness, since he's come on, he's actually been playing almost like a midfielder, and he looks quite comfortable as well.
He does, to be fair. I think a lot of the substitutes for Santa Clara, I mean, it's easy to be comfortable when you are 3-0 up. There's not a lot of pressure on them. However, they have certainly made the step up in this one. Plenty of youth on the pitch for both teams. Even we mentioned the 18-year-old James Simpson at the back, coming on for the injured Graham. And he may have his work cut out now as Santa Clara come forward. This is a real chance for them. The strike comes in for this. The box is a great save from Ferguson. It was Vinicius Lopez who lines one up from about 30 yards out. It's a powerful effort with the right foot, not quite in the corner, which gave Ferguson a chance, and that chance he took, palming away with his left hand, diving to his right. Does well to direct that one out for a corner kick.
I would like to think that a goalkeeper should be making that save, because it is going down the middle. But that said, it's still moving at pace. He's got to make sure he gets that arm there and puts enough of a deflection on that to make sure it does go out for a corner rather than come back into the middle. So out-swinging corner now from Serginho.
Indeed it is. Not a bad one, and underneath it was that man MT, but he can't quite find it. It'll be brought away now by Larne. Chance for Dan Bent now, running at speed. Feeds it into James Simpson. Now back to Dan Bent. He's not doing a lot right in this one, but he chops well there to get away from his man Brennan. Then back heels again to Simpson. He puts a cross in. It's not a bad one. Can Larne get a goal back? They can't. The strike came in from the edge of the area. Dan Bent goes down. He's never going to get a penalty kick for that one. And I think the effort coming in from Gallagher was blocked well in the end from Santa Clara.
That's one of the best moves that we've seen from Larne all evening. Nice little bit of link-up play down the left-hand side. Bent involved in that one, as was the substitute Simpson there. But here comes the ball down the right-hand side.
Indeed, a chance now for Larne again. It's a poor touch though from Sloan. He's trying to take it first time. The ball gets stuck underneath.
Shame. All he's got to do is just try and play that across the penalty, and there is a decent chance. But this is good work. Bent down the right-hand side. He has an overlap there from Simpson. Simpson's ball into the box. The initial effort is charged down, and Bent wants a touch at the edge of the area. Maybe if he had the confidence just to try and put his foot through it on the angle, he might have been able to get a shot away at goal.
Perhaps so. It's not a bad chance there. He's trying to bring it down and bounce the ball into the turf, but in the end kind of topples himself over in the process of doing so. Whether he takes it first time or maybe a better touch required would have done the job. But certainly had a couple of chances towards the end of this game. Maybe a little bit of quiet encouragement for them to take on to the second leg. I'll say that, and they've been given a gift here. Chance now for Larne to get one back. It's terrible defending out the back from Santa Clara. The ball fed at the feet for the number 14 for Larne. The introduced Benji McGee, and it's played out from the back there. Originally the ball comes out to the feet of Rocco, who plays it square across his box, which he never should do as a professional. It's picked up by McGee, goes from the goalkeeper, but it's just too tight of an angle to squeeze in. It
is. I mean, that sweeping ball across the box is a disgrace, really, from Santa Clara. But once that ball finds McGee, he needs to just be a little bit more decisive in what he does there, and that ball in the end is easily cleared.
Certainly. It's just these little chances, really, for Larne that have built up, and they probably should have had a goal, at least a consolation in this one, just based on the half chances they've had, and that one being the biggest of them all. I think a more, perhaps, experienced forward than Benji McGee may take that first time, shooting to the keeper's right as the ball's coming in from that side, and really you'd have given the keeper no chance, but just taking the touch, taking the sting out of it, just allow Batista to get back and cover well, and the block coming in by Rocker making up for his pretty sinful ball across the 6-yard box. He's on the ball now though, it won't be shaken, I imagine. Number 13 into the feet of Araujo, now back into Rocker, being pressed high by McGee, goes in field, and it's given away again, and Dan Bent again. It's a poor touch, and Larne have been gifted a couple of opportunities really late in this one. That's a crunching challenge that comes in. That is a free kick. Again, it's Serginho who's really in the wars, and that foul coming in from Gallagher just slides through the back of him.
It does. I just think maybe Serginho just play acted a bit too much in the first half, and on the first couple of fouls he had, the first of about 15 he's had this evening, and since then he's just been on the hit list for the Larne players.
I think so. He's certainly been in the war a little bit. It's a long ball forward from Araujo, not a bad one out to that left-hand side, looking to try find Pedro Ferreira, excuse me, and he doesn't. It goes out behind for a throw-in. 3 minutes to go in this one. Only time to come as well on top of that. I'm sure there won't be much. We've not really. It's been a pretty free-flowing game.
Yes, it has. I mean, it's been, let's say, the majority of the pace has been set by Santa Clara. But one thing we have to say, we may have criticised Larne for a few things this evening, but you can't fault their work effort. That even now, when they're 3-0 down with 2.5 minutes of regulation play to go, they're still trying to win the ball. They're still trying to go on the attack. They're still getting in the face of the Santa Clara. They're still fouling Serginho. So they really are. You certainly can't fault the effort of Nathan Rooney's side. But again, not to labour the point, but there is just a golfing class between these two teams.
Absolutely. That is the phrase that pays for this evening's Conference League qualifier first leg between these two sides. The difference in class has been really telling, especially in that first half flurry of goals from the visitors and the instrumental midfield play. Gabriel Silva, 2 goals and an assist from him, the other being scored by Wendell Silva. As there's a chase on at the back for Batista to get to. He does comfortably and will dribble that ball back into his box, into the safety net. A bit of a half-hearted press there from Benjamin McGee. Batista picks it up and rolls it out to the left-hand side for Raya to take. He takes one step forward and decides it's all too much for him. Turns around and plays it back to his goalkeeper Batista, who then launches one long field ball downfield with one in the air. Once again by Araujo. He then puts it out of play for a throw-in, which Larne will take. 2 minutes to go, just under of regulation time. Bent receives the ball, launches it downfield. Gallagher won't get there. A bit of head tennis at the moment. Ferreira underneath one. That flicked on out of play. by Vinicius Lopez. It'll be a throw-in again. Bent turns well, and then well again. Keeps the ball under pressure from the onrushing Sergio. Into the feet now of McGee, who dances his way through a couple of players, but only in the direction of his own half. Ball played wide now to Gallagher. His forward ball looking for a teammate. It's not a bad one, but in the end, no dice for the onrushing Benji McGee, who does well to get the other side of the Santa Clara defence, but can't quite latch into the through ball.
No, it's easily back with the goalkeeper in the end, but again, you can't fault the effort here at Larne as that ball is played just a little bit too much on that one from McGee. Couldn't quite get on after it, but the goalkeeper now ready to restart play. We're about 30 seconds away from added time, and I don't think there'll be too much in this second half.
I don't think so. There's not really been too many stoppages. Our match official, Adam Ladderback, has been pretty laid back in terms of how much stoppages we've had. It's been a pretty impressive refereeing performance this
It has, yeah, very impressive. And I say he's probably, I mean, if there was a UEFA qualifying sort of assessor marking, we probably would say that maybe there should have been a couple of additional yellow cards. Ben probably could have been booked about an hour earlier. But other than that, I think the referee has sort of judged the flow and the sort of the theme of this game quite well, and has understood the two sets of players he's refereeing, and just waiting for confirmation how much added time there'll be.
Ball floated out to the left-hand side. 3 minutes to come in this one. You can imagine that's a little bit generous, really. But it's Santa Clara side coming forward. That's another foul. That should be another yellow card, but indeed it won't be. It's Nolan, the man who's just had a little pull back there. He's not had a yellow card this far, Nolan. He's been one of the players who's been committing a fair few fouls. Only Bent remains on the booking, who still remains on the pitch for Larne. Ball flicked forward, not a great one. Looking for João Costa, won't find him. That's cleared up and away by Nolan. Now to play for a throw-in to Santa Clara. The Portuguese side have done well, really well, especially in that first half, just to really showcase their dominance technically and physically as well, you'd have to argue. Might have tried to make it a physical battle, but yeah, I think even Santa Clara have won that one by just picking up lots and lots of free kicks. Really, they've shown their professionalism very well.
Yeah, they've not been drawn into it, have they? There were probably a couple of occasions where maybe they could have tried to sort of give a little bit back, but they've just sort of backed their footballing ability this evening, knowing that they are going to get the job done, and they have done.
Absolutely. Throw in for Larne. About a minute and a half to go. Larne really just trying to make sure there's no nasty surprises at the end of this one. I think 3-0 they'd have taken at half-time. You'd have to say it could have been out of sight if Santa Clara would have just had the shooting boots on in the second half, really. As the ball's fed out wide to the feet of Brenner. Does a 1-2 once again. We've seen that so many times. Cuts the ball back. Is there a chance? There's not. It's well blocked in the end by number 3 Ridley. Now Larne will try to come away with it, but they can't quite do so. Picked up in midfield by Ferreira. Now backwards with Vinicius Lopez. Back now with Nuncio. Infield once more with Serginho. Another player who's been technically really good in this one. Good touch out of the feet there by Araujo. He's going to try and feed it in field. The referee was getting in the way of play there. And in fact, he has done it. He stopped play for a moment. And in fact, he's brought a yellow card out.
Yeah, it's a slightly silly yellow card. I mean, again, from the Santa Clara player's point of view, I don't know why João Costa's worried about Larne taking a quick free kick, but he does try and stop it, and that's why the referee gives him that yellow card. But so that last move from Brenner there as well, he's been very good on the right-hand side. So it's very close between him and Gabriel Silva as to who would be man of the match.
Absolutely. As Ben takes his free kick short, they're going to try and bring the ball forward. But I think you're absolutely right. Brenner's been fantastic from start to finish, really, in this one, down that right-hand side. He's combined so well with those 1-2s just to get the better of the full-backs. I mean, Graham had to go off because he got injured trying to just chase shadows, really, after Brenner. And he has been superb. But I think you can't ignore the 2 goals and assists from Gabriel Silva. It's a shame, really, it was taken off because he was really enjoyable to watch.
He was, and there won't be any more time, I don't think.
There won't be. The referee blows full time. It's finished. Larne 0, Santa Clara 3.